Hey everybody, it's Matt Mayoko from NBC Sports Bay Area checking in on Tuesday morning. Um, Not talking too much about the 49ers, the current 49ers on this brief video. Just wanted to bring you up to date on the Hall of Fame. And the one question I get from so many 49er fans, why isn't Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame? And I wish I had an easy answer for you, but I do have an answer that isn't real comforting to you right now, and that is that the 2025 class Pro Football Hall of Fame will not include Roger Craig. He did not make the list of the three seniors candidates who advance on in this process. And I'll try to kind of break it down um, and kind of tell you what that process is. But first, this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery. It's a brewery, it's a restaurant, great beer garden in Moraga, California. All kinds of styles of beers, all kinds of different food items on the menu. So check it out next time you're in Moraga. If you're ever in Moraga, who knows? You might just see me there. Also, it's coming soon to the Livery in Danville. Okay, so the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Tuesday announced finalists, five finalists in the seniors, coaches, and contributor categories. Three seniors, one coach, one contributor. And for the first time in the selection process, those five individuals will be basically going up against each other. Now, this is completely different than the modern era people. And as we talked about a few weeks ago, Joe Staley did not make the cut in his first year of eligibility to the final 25. And so right now, full disclosure, I'm a member of the full selection committee, 49 individuals on that selection committee. We don't vote for the seniors. The whole committee doesn't vote for the seniors, the contributor, or the coach. And we're in the process now of whittling down the final 25 semifinalists to 15 finalists. And then ultimately, at some point before the Super Bowl, we'll get together to discuss the 20 remaining candidates. And again, that would be 15 modern era people. There would be three seniors, one coach, one contributor. So the three individuals, well, first off, let me just say Mike Holmgren, former 49ers assistant coach, two-time Super Bowl winner with the 49ers, went on to coach the Green Bay Packers, won a Super Bowl with them, went on to coach the Seattle Seahawks, made it to a Super Bowl with them. He was the coach nominee to be a finalist. But the three seniors finalists for the class of 2025 are Maxie Bond, Sterling Sharp, and Jim Tyrer. Now, and so that's the category where Roger Craig did not even make the final nine. And what's interesting is, and I can't tell you specifics. A lot of this were kind of, as the members of the selection committee, were kind of sworn to secrecy on some of this stuff. But I did find out a couple of weeks ago that Roger didn't make it even into the final nine candidates. Just found out this morning who the final three were. But it's discouraging because, in the past I've kind of got the feeling that Roger was right there ready to break through. And I was confident that he would at some point make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I haven't seen Roger in a while, and he's not around the team as much as he used to. So certainly my thoughts are with Roger. I know that when he and I were speaking quite regularly, this was something that he really wanted and he felt like he deserved. And I think that a lot of 49er fans feel the same way. And just to kind of refresh your memory, his season or his career ended after the 1993 season. He made it, his teams made it to the postseason all 11 years in which he played. That was 8 years with the 49ers, 2 years with the Minnesota Vikings, and then 1 year with the LA Raiders. And he was a four-time Pro Bowl player, three-time Super Bowl champ, had the three touchdowns in that Super Bowl win over the Miami Dolphins. And of course, kind of his crowning achievement was when he became the first player in NFL history to rush for 1,000 yards and have 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. So since then, only Marshall Faulk and Christian McCaffrey have done that. But instead of Roger Craig, Maxie Bond. Maxie Bond was a nine-time Pro Bowl linebacker with the Eagles and the Rams. Um, with Sterling Sharp, only 7 years in the NFL. I believe he retired due to neck injuries. Three-time All-Pro during his that 7 year career with the Packers, and then Jim Tyrer. Um, what an interesting and tragic tale of Jim Tyrer, who, obviously before, well, maybe not obviously, but before my time, he was considered the prototypical offensive lineman, offensive tackle in professional football. And he was a guy that made it to 9 Pro Bowls, was a 6-time All Pro selection. He was a member of Kansas City's Super Bowl champion and also won 3 AFL titles with the Kansas City Chiefs. And he was considered like this slam dunk, first ballot Hall of Fame guy, like one of the best who's ever played his position. However, as he was coming up on his first year of eligibility, his family started noticing changes in him. He was depressed and vacant and just wasn't the same person that they knew him to be. And in 1980, he shot and killed his wife, and then he turned the gun on himself and died by suicide. And so that first year, he was a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I think the voting up until, the actual voting into the Hall of Fame took place before that incident occurred. And he wasn't voted in his first year of eligibility. It was never again considered a finalist. And so, a lot of people suspect this was long before people knew about CTE. It is suspected that Jim Tyrer was suffering from CTE during, those retirement years, often complained of headaches and just not being himself. And so one of the things for the Pro Football Hall of Fame is you're not supposed to take into account anything off the field. It's only on-field accomplishments. So that's why Jim Tyrer is a candidate. One point I would like to make about Roger is I know 49er fans are absolutely angry and furious and don't know what to think of this. And I say I get it. I fully understand. I've never had the opportunity to vote for Roger Craig. I'm not on the subcommittees for the seniors, the coaches, or the contributors. Um, and so I understand it. I wish I were able to vote for him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but it hasn't happened yet. And I will say that as passionate as 49er fans are, it seems like just about every fan base has their guys that they believe should be in and who aren't in. And, it could be, Kenny Anderson, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. It could be any number of guys who have made it far in the process. Thinking of the other seniors, Lester Hayes was on that, Bob Kuchenberg, Albert Lewis, Stanley Morgan, and Al Wistert. So, people who saw those guys play, and those guys didn't make it either. They're in the same group as Roger Craig. The difference was those names, those players I just listed, they all made it to the final 9, and Roger Craig did not. As far as the coaching situation, Mike Holmgren does make it. He is the finalist for the coach. And among the coaches that he beat out were uh, Mike Shanahan, who actually beat Mike Holmgren in a Super Bowl, and also George Seifert. George Seifert has made it into the semifinalist stage. He won 2 Super Bowls with the 49ers as a head coach. Others, I think all 3 others as an assistant coach with the team, including some as a defensive coordinator. Was considered every bit the innovator on defense as Bill Walsh was on offense. But probably what really hurts him is, after his time with the 49ers was over, he went on to the Carolina Panthers and had some not real successful seasons there. So the NFL, or the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the NFL is not connected, at least not directly to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but they did change some bylaws this year that will make it more difficult to get into the Hall of Fame. So I mentioned how the seniors, the coach, and the contributor are now, those five are now all competing against each other. What will happen is when we have that meeting sometime before the Super Bowl, our ballot will have those five individuals. Um, the seniors that I mentioned, Maxie Bond, Sterling Sharp, Jim Tyrer. The coach finalist is Mike Holmgren, and then the contributor finalist getting the nod over Robert Kraft. A lot of people thought that Robert Kraft should be the finalist, but Ralph Hay. He was an automobile dealer in Canton, Ohio, and he's the one that organized the professional football owners to get together in his showroom in 1920, and that formed the National Football League. And so Ralph Hay is the contributor finalist. So what basically happens is those five will all be on one ballot, and then we will pick each of us, all 49 members of the selection committee, will pick three of those five. I have not decided on who my three will be. After everybody picks the three of their five, only the individuals with 80% who appeared in 80% of the ballots will get into the Hall of Fame. And so at most, it'll be three. At the very least, it'll be one, because even if one person does not make the 80% threshold, the highest vote getter will get in. So only one person out of those, or it'll be 1 to 3 out of those five that I just mentioned. And then for the modern era, as I understand it, it used to be basically five modern era guys would get in slam dunk, no questions asked. This year, it'll be the finalists will be 15. We'll have a vote down to 10. And then, as I understand it, there will be another vote down to 7. And then, of those 7, we vote, each of us will vote for 5. And only the ones who get 80% will get in. So it could be as little as 3, and it could be as high as 5, but that seems highly unlikely because this is a very balanced class of modern era finalists. In fact, I'm not sure there's a slam dunk. Uh, you know, I just don't know if there's a slam dunk. I'm going to reel off the 25 names: Eli Manning, Fred Taylor, Ricky Waters, Anquan Bolden, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith Sr., Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne, Antonio Gates, who was a finalist last year and who might be about the favorite to get in. Willie Anderson, Jari Evans, Richmond Webb, Steve Wisniewski, Marshall Yanda, Eric Allen, Rodney Harrison, Earl Thomas, Darren Woodson, James Harrison, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Jared Allen, Robert Mathis, Vince Wilfork, and kicker Adam Vinatieri. So only 5 tops of that group will get in. More than likely 3 or 4 based on that 80% vote. So that's it for you. Sorry to deliver the news about Roger Craig being snubbed once again. And thank you for watching this video. And I'm just sorry, 49ers fans, that I didn't have anything better or more uplifting to report on this Tuesday morning.